Shehzad Poonawalla, we started by asking the question whether he was losing on newfound equity. Yashwant Deshmukh tells us the data says his graph is still going up. It hasn't come down. It's still less than the Congress's graph, but it had crashed, so everything is relative to where you've fallen to. But he's still in the news, and Rahul Gandhi is showing himself as to be the guy who can lead the opposition, or at least coming out as a strong personality given his diminished past recent standing. So this attack, according to Yashwant, hasn't diminished his newfound popularity yet.
You know, Rahul, NASA should do research on Congress party. How to relaunch one failed rocket which does not reach its destination over and over again without reimagination. I think NASA can learn from Rahul Gandhi and Congress party how to relaunch the same failed product. Now let's come to the...
But it will help NASA only if the rocket actually gets launched the next time.
Absolutely, but he's not reaching nowhere, and therefore, you know, this is the longest web series on television, is Rahul kar dega, Rahul se ho paega, but hota nahi hai. Now let me give you a data point on that. I think in elections, more than Yashwant, and as much as I respect Yashwantji's data on this, performance of the beta is more important than data. And what was the first performance where beta had to perform? 3 elections in Northeast, which from where the scarf has come. The 3 elections in Northeast, today Congress is reduced to 8 out of 180 seats. And the BJP, which was never considered to be a traditional party of Northeast because of its high minority population, tribal population, today in Tripura we had 1.5% vote in 2015, before 2014-2015, today we have 39% vote. And Congress is at a historic low in Nagaland, historic low in Meghalaya, and historic low in Tripura. This is the reality. Now let me come to the point that I'm making. Today, forget everything else. Rahul, there is one quote I always like to say, Parspar virode tu vayam panchatadik shatam, parayastu vigrehe prapte vayam panchadik shatam, which means that you and I can fight when we are fighting 5 versus 100, Kaurav versus Pandav can take place. But when there is an external force, we are not 5 versus 100, we are 105. Rahul Gandhi on record goes and tells that he's shocked that there is oblivion by Europe and United States.
But he also says in those same speeches that this is an Indian problem. Indians need to
Rahul, let me clarify. This is because I only want to debate on facts. Yes. I don't want to shout. Let me just explain this entire thing. He did not say it in the same speech. India Today has done umpteenth coverages on this. You can check it. I don't lie on television. He said it in Cambridge, I think, and then next day he clarified that no, this is an internal problem. Point number one. Point number two, this is not the first time. I would have been okay if it was the first time. Here is a speech, and I got the India Today report because otherwise they say we don't believe it. Please listen to what he says to Nicholas Burns.
But may I make a comment?
Please. You can
I don't hear anything from the US establishment about what is happening in India.
You want me to play more? Okay,
if you're saying partnership of democracies, I mean, what's your view on what's going on here? I mean, I fundamentally believe that America is a profound idea. The idea of freedom, the way it's encapsulated in your constitution, is a very powerful idea.
Okay. Rahul, just give me 20 seconds to wrap up. First of all, he says America is a profound idea. By the way, they've never had a non-Christian as their president. Leave that alone. But it's a profound idea, and he's demanding their intervention not once, over and over again. You remember Mani Shankar Iyer went to Pakistan, begged for help. George Soros, when he said whatever he said, Praveen Chakravarti officially tweeted about it, and Shashi Tharoor is on record, and here's the tweet of Shashi Tharoor.
No, but you saw
that George Soros is a great friend.
Said that members of the RSS during the emergency also went to the US and asked for American help in India's affairs. So it's been done in the past. It's not new.
One second. First of all, I have provided specific evidence. Let them prove that with evidence. Secondly, these can't be I provide facts and they provide rhetoric and fiction. Secondly, emergency was imposed, but I am not saying that that happened. Let them provide the proof of that. Let me just make a final point. What I'm trying to say is, in the same speech, Rahul, there are 2 other things that he said in his Cambridge speech, and I can play that also, but I hope you'll believe me. He said that over and over again, MPs have been arrested and violently detained, and this has happened multiple times outside Parliament. This is the point.
That picture is taken in the Parliament House, and that's
where a whole bunch of opposition.
But he's in the opposition. You
members of
obviously
parliament
are going
were
to
just
see him
standing
say things which are critical of you.
talking about certain issues.
Be critical,
and
no problem.
We were just locked up and put in jail.
And that's happened.
Can you please tell me, Rahul, I only debate on facts, I don't shout, I don't do any kind of lies. I am asking two specific questions of Aishwarya, my good friend. One, he demanded foreign intervention not once but over and over again. Two, which were the instances where MPs were violently beaten up and detained and put in lockup? Can she cite the instance to me?
Okay,
he
let
also said
Aishwarya-
mics were switched off. That's not true, you know it, 52 minutes he spoke, but let's not even get into that. Criticize us, abuse Prime Minister, abuse BJP, no problem. You are demanding foreign intervention and you said MPs were violently detained and locked up. Can you please show me the instances when that happened?
Okay, let Aishwarya respond.
Please.
You know, Rahul, on the instance of MPs being beaten up, I think you also reported about it, and this was not only outside but also inside the well of the house, where Fulodevi Netam, a female MP of the Congress party, had her hand broken because you saw marshals rushing in over the passing of a bill. One. Second, you saw the manhandling of members of parliament, including Jyotimani and other MPs during Hathras. You saw what they did to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra during protests, and there are several instances of this. And the second is, let's ask one question. If the BJP wants to respond, it should not be by defaming somebody's character who you already deem irrelevant. It should be telling me how you are not undemocratic as a government. Whether it is today your MPs not being allowed to march to the ED. Whether it's the fact that your ED in over 4,000 cases has conviction in less than 2% of all the cases. And
Rahul,
no surprise there, look who they go after. And the fact remains, whether it is institutions, whether it is organizations, whether it is debates in parliament, you see the sort of stifling of the democratic voice. One. And Shehzad, you are very intelligent.
Aishwarya,
and I
one
will
second.
also
I don't want to
ask-
interrupt you, Aishwarya, but in the interest of this debate having a direction, I asked you a very specific question with all due respect. Just hear me out for 20 seconds.
I will
But
get
no,
there.
Aishwarya, just 20 seconds, because you've gone on to ED. ED's decisions are not their own. The courts look into it. Like K. Kavita did not get relief. Lalu Prasad has been convicted. Sonia Gandhi did not get relief. Let's not get into that. We'll get into that after a moment. I want to ask you a specific question. I have shown you two factual instances where Rahul Gandhi has demanded US, the great protector of democracy, to
Your
intervene in my
audio is
affairs.
not too loud. Rahul, can you
is
increase
that
it,
is the
Can't hear
acknowledged?
him too clearly.
Okay, I am asking you a specific question. India can manage its own affairs. If you and I have a fight, or you have a fight in your parivar, you don't complain about your father to the neighborhood. Therefore, I'm asking you, how do you as a Congress person feel when Rahul Gandhi, and I've shown you factually, demanded US establishment to intervene in my country? Why do we need, at time of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of proud independence, when Britain is now being led by an Indian origin man, why do I need a white man lecturing me about how to run my democratic affairs? I am only on this point. As far as the ED point is concerned, courts are there. If you think we are being vindictive, get an order from the court.